It was another exciting day of Test cricket at Trent Bridge today. We have with us Sanjay Manjrekar to review the day's play. Sanjay, could you start with talking about the toss, how important it was to win the toss, and that Dhoni did the right thing to put England into bat?
Well, I think Dhoni has been lucky with the tosses in this series. Lords was also bowled first pitch, and to an extent, the kind of conditions that were there at Trent Bridge, overhead conditions, and also the pitch had a look of bowling first on it. Andrew Strauss also confessed, after losing the toss, that he would have also fielded first. But of course, one of the dangers when you look to field first is what if the weather suddenly opens up? The sun comes out and the pitch flattens out very quickly. Because if it's a matter of just 1 hour, if you have to play the swinging ball for an hour and the pitch is going to be then good for batting, then it makes sense to bat first, because over a period of time, over 5 days, it's always an advantage batting first. Fortunately for Dhoni, the sun stayed behind the clouds and the pitch continued to have a bit of help for the seamers right through. And you get a feeling on day 2 as well, the pitch might have something. So from that standpoint, good toss to win and ask England to bat first. And I think he'll be happy with 221, although there was a recovery. When he started off, if he was told that England would get 221 batting first, would you mind that? And he would have said, no, I'd take that.
For India, it was a good thing that Sreesanth came in and returned after a while to Test cricket, and immediately he made an impact. Did you always feel that this guy would come back and make such an impact?
He's an interesting talent, Sreesanth, and he's also got a different kind of an approach to his cricket. What I was very impressed with was that he was still very positive with the length that he bowled. We've been talking about the lengths on this trip a lot, and I also mentioned this the last time that people who generally tend to be a little short of length are guys generally are people who are slightly short of confidence, not relaxed, and not positive enough to pitch the ball up, because they don't like batsmen driving them to the covers or being scored off. So they prefer the short of length attack, which generally keeps the batsman quiet and things are manageable. But this is a guy who looks for wickets. He's an aggressive bowler, and if you have two steady bowlers in a team, Sreesanth just complements that attack wonderfully. So I thought his length was brilliant for a man making a comeback, and to good batsman. Jonathan Trott was a big wicket, and it was just that beautiful swinging delivery that got him, which was pitched right up, getting the batsman to drive. So love his attitude, and I think he's an excellent test match bowler, not so much a limited overs bowler.
And good for India that even in the absence of Zaheer, they bowled as a unit. In fact, both Praveen Kumar and Ishant Sharma, they also took 3 wickets each. India must be happy that now the bowling unit, is actually strong enough to kind of bundle out England.
You've got to admire the fight that this team puts up, in spite of the problem that they had in the Lord's Test match. They survived right till the last session, and even here, Zaheer Khan in these conditions would have been just brilliant. And we've always felt that India is very much a one bowler team, and there was a lot of truth in that as well, with Bhaji also not being in the kind of form that he should be. But these seamers are willing to put up a fight. It's not been a cakewalk for England. Twice in this series already, there have been 5 downs for 60 and 80. So that tells you something about this bowling attack. So very impressed with the way Praveen Kumar has been effective, not only with the new ball. Because of the kind of speed that he has, people felt that once the new ball is consumed, he won't be that much of a threat with this semi-new or the older ball. But he's proved to be a bowler that the batsmen have to watch right through. And Ishant Sharma is just sort of hitting the right note, just falling back a bit. And Sreesanth coming in, bowling those great deliveries to get wickets. Slip catching was impressive. All in all, you've got to say that in spite of the handicaps, India is still doing pretty well in the field with the ball.
Interestingly, England snatched back the control through Stuart Broad and Graham Spond's partnership for the 9th wicket. In fact, the last 2 wickets added 97 runs, valuable runs. Do you think that is going to be a turning point of the match? And how impressed were you with Stuart Broad's bold character today?
Well, Stuart Broad has had a wonderful series, both with bat and ball. And I think when he came out today to bat, he had Graham Swan for company. I thought it was a team plan, which must have made it easier for Stuart Broad to play the way he did, which was about just going after the bowling and not be almost sitting ducks to the kind of good swing bowling that England had to face right through. They were could be faulted for being a bit defensive, but then you start wondering as a batsman also that if you had to be attacking or positive, what are the kinds of shots that you would play on this kind of a surface? You can't hit through the line, and to slog in a test match is not advisable. So when the team plans changed after they lost 8 wickets, just helps Stuart Broad to take on the bowlers, and I think that's where India got a bit rattled. And I think there are some stats there on Cricinfo about opposition when they've lost 7 wickets, the kind of runs that are put by the last 3 wickets against India, and India has one of the worst records. And the obvious explanation for that could be that India have generally lacked a fast bowler, a bowler who bowls great yorkers or bounces to rattle the tailenders, and very often you need speed and the short stuff to get tailenders, because then they don't want to hang around too much. When you're sort of length bowlers, the proper batsmen sort of respect length more. But if a batsman at batting at number 9, 10, 11 doesn't care too much about his wicket, is willing to slog and hit in the air, the length bowling sometimes can become a problem. And also Harbhajan Singh has not been at the top of his game, so his spin also wasn't helping India.
The forecast for tomorrow is sunny, but the conditions in Trent Bridge have always been swinger friendly and seam friendly. India's 2 senior batsmen, PVS Lakshman and Rahul Dravid, survived a very tough final hour. Where do you think, what is the key for now for India to kind of take back the control?
It's never easy reading the surface and the conditions, even if maybe the day the sun comes out tomorrow. I thought the sun coming out at Lord's made a huge difference to the way the surface played. It played a lot better when the sun was out. Here I had the opportunity to look at the pitch from close quarters. It's a very interesting pitch. The texture that you have on top is interesting. It's not like a hard roll sort of soil pitch with a nice sprinkling of grass, even sprinkling of grass. There's tufts of grass that you see on the surface. It's like knots everywhere on the surface. And when the ball hits one of those areas, one of the knots, if it hits just before the knot, the rise in the knot, it tends to take off. And sometimes it doesn't. So there is a tendency for this pitch to remain too pace, and tendency for this pitch to produce unplayable deliveries. We saw the way Graham Swan got out. There were other deliveries also. So I think that will continue to be a challenge for the batsmen. Having said that, India have got Lakshman, Dravid, who showed tremendous discipline in that last session. I thought that was a crucial session for India, and if India do well in this test match, a lot would be attributed to that session because they didn't lose more than 1 wicket. So India have the batting to counter such challenges, but I don't think even if the sun comes out, batting is going to be that easy. I don't know about day 3, 4, how the pitch will pan out, but day 2, sun coming out is not an assurance of a flat pitch and easy batting conditions.